It is Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys.
Man, we were just having the conversation about the immense and amazing focus it takes by Michael Gallup to know in midair he might be hurt and still come down with the touchdown pass. How impressive was that play? And then how tough is it to lose him for the rest of the year?
Well, first of all, Michael's just a first-class guy. First and foremost off the field, but on the field, what a great competitor. Doesn't surprise me a bit he made the play. I mean, that's just him. And, he's got a great positive attitude. I mean, obviously, that's a very difficult blow. I know he was looking forward to, what free agency was going to bring, and hopefully right here in Dallas. We know we have our challenges here, but no one thinks more of Michael Gallup and the Dallas Cowboys than his teammates, than his coaching staff, the organization. As I said, just a class act all the way, and doesn't surprise me a bit. He was able to make that great play, but he'll come back, and he'll come back strong and better than ever, and ultimately Michael will get his.
Does that kind of change y'all's approach, or maybe the way y'all look at what he could be for you in the future in free agency?
Not at all. I mean, we'll just go to work with him and see. I mean, as we said, we've obviously got some challenges that we'll address in the off season. Our focus right now is on beating the Philadelphia Eagles, and certainly it was a very difficult day for us yesterday, magnified by the loss of Gallup. But we went up against a tough team that was backed into a corner, and they were trying to fight their way out of it. Hats off to them. I mean, Kyler Murray's an amazing athlete, amazing competitor, amazing quarterback in terms of how he competes, and he seems to bring it to a higher level when he comes to AT&T Stadium, starting all the way back, going back to high school. But hats off to the Cardinals. They played great defensively. They made plays when they had to offensively. They protected the ball, and we weren't able to get the job done. So we got work to do. We've got things obvious that everybody's going to talk about in terms of we've got to execute better going forward, and we'll all see how important the ball is. I mean, we just didn't get the turnovers like we have been getting. They got one, and they got a big play on special teams, and those can be the differences on winning and losing a football game. So we understand that, and we've got to get to work.
Stephen, it seemed like the theme after the game from the players and Coach McCarthy was the refs didn't help out the Cowboys. In fact, they hurt the Cowboys. Can you talk about how you felt the refs called the game?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the officials. Every team deals with officials. They have good games. They have games where they probably feel like things went their way. They have games where they feel like they don't go their way, and that's just part of competitive sports. And so we've got to get to work and take care of the things that we can take care of. And I know we'll do that. I know Coach McCarthy will get staff together. I know that we're hard at it already, and get ready to go and get ready to play the Eagles and get the momentum back as we get ready to go into the playoffs. We feel good about our football team. Obviously, the Gallup injury is a tough one, but other than that, we're for the most part a healthy football team, and we've got it all out here in front of us, including the home playoff game to start the playoffs. And but we've really got to focus on the Eagles right now. Obviously, got some work that we need to do in terms of our execution and how we how we can execute during a football game and win those close football games. And done a good job of winning a bunch of them this year, but obviously that was a very difficult one for us yesterday.
Now, speaking about that offensive execution, I was curious, and you've mentioned beating the Eagles a couple of different times. Do you anticipate not going after this game full bore? Like, there's been discussion about sitting players out. McCarthy said yesterday that discussion would take place today. Dak has said he's playing. It is unlikely, though not impossible, y'all could move off the number 4 seed. Do you anticipate any changes in the game plan for the Eagles?
Not at this point, no. I feel like we'll be full bore, ready to go. We play on a Saturday night now. Certainly some things can happen where things could go our way, so we're going to And plus, not to mention the fact we need the momentum, and we need to go out and work on our execution. And we'll do that. We'll have a great week of practice as we continue to prepare. And this will be a big football game for us. The Eagles are playing really well right now. They're locked in. My understanding is they're locked into the playoffs. So
Yep.
Got a lot of work to do, and we're going to focus on the Eagles.
So, Stephen, I liked your answer on the referees, but the players did talk a lot about it. Does it concern you at all that your players are bitching about the referees? Because just as a former player, if I'm bitching about the umpires, then I'm not worried about how I can become better.
No, I mean, got players, at times you're frustrated right after the heat of the battle, but I know our guys will focus on the right things, which is how we get better as a football team and what we have to do to win football games. And I don't think it starts with the officials in any way. That's out of our control, and we've got to go out and execute and play tough Dallas Cowboys football like we have most of the year. Get back to turning the ball over, which our defense has just done an outstanding job of this year, and inserting energy into the game at different points. And unfortunately, we didn't get that yesterday. At the same time, we've got to go out. We've got to execute better as an offense, and we've got to play better on special teams. Obviously, the Cardinals made a big play on special teams against us, and we weren't able to come up with the plays to answer that. So we've got to get back to work and control the things that we can control.
What do you think is the biggest problem right now, Stephen, with the running game specifically? Is it because there's no rhythm to it? Is there something else going on behind the scenes there? What's the biggest problem with being able to run the ball effectively right now?
I'm not going to be able to put my hands on it right now. Certainly, I know we've got a great coaching staff. Coach Philbin leading up the offensive line group. Obviously, Kellen and Mike are going to give it another good going over. We ran the ball better the week before, but you got to take your hat off to the Cardinals. They came in and played well against the run and against us, and we've just got to execute. I think it comes down to execution. Comes down to these guys playing as Tyron's first game back. He's got to continue to improve. Obviously, a great football play for us, a Pro Bowl player for us this year. No question in my mind, he's going to just keep getting better with each week. So we've just got to go execute. I think we will.
Now, can you tell us any more about, and you were just kind of addressing it with the Tyron comments, I would love to know more from your perspective, from the team perspective. What does better execution look like on the offensive line?
I think it's working as a group. Everybody talks about an offensive line group, and, it's really the first time the original five were able to start for one reason or another, and all be together as one group. And I think that's important in terms of execution and working together, and getting used to the guy on your right, the guy on your left, and how you're going to communicate. I think all those things are important, and certainly an area we can improve on in terms of executing as a unit.
When it comes to, I wanted to kind of get a feel for how you thought the Cardinals played yesterday, because I didn't think it was a great game on their part, but man, Kyler Murray sometimes makes some pretty special plays, especially whenever it was necessary. What did you take away from what they gave the Cowboys defense yesterday?
Well, I thought our defense, for the most part, did play well, and that's why Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray. He made plays, key plays that most quarterbacks can't make when he needed to on third downs, on keeping that drive alive. He was a key part of the whole drive there at the end of the game when we were needing to get him out so we could get the ball back and go down and have an opportunity either to win or tie the game. He was making plays, and other than him making some really unique runs as a quarterback and a couple of a speed sweep for a big play. I thought we stopped the run well yesterday. You got to give Kyler credit. He took some shots and really made some really spot-on throws. When he had one-on-one coverage to the outside and hit some shots. So, but overall, I thought our defense played well. Other than we just missed our signature for this year, which is turning the ball over, and we've just got to continue to stress that, which I know Dan will with this unit. You got to take your hat off to Kyler for not putting the ball in harm's way. They protected it well, and we just got to continue to work on that, and I think we will as a team.
Dak ran the ball more yesterday. How did you feel about Dak running and how he looked running?
I thought he looked good, and I think as you go down the home stretch, obviously these games, it becomes really important to win these things, and obviously he did it a little more. You hold your breath because every time you do it, you're putting yourself, in what could be a tough situation. Obviously, Kyler missed some games this year because he uses his feet to make plays, but certainly you're going to see. I think a lot of these quarterbacks who have the ability to do so use their feet to make plays when it's win or go home. Once you get into playoff football, and certainly we're fortunate that Dak can make those plays. At the same time, I think Dak's learned a lot of when to get down. Certainly, you can see Kyler Murray's good at it as well. He uses that baseball background to slide and get down quick, and I think all these guys understand that they can't take multiple licks during the course of a game. It takes its toll. So at the same time, I think these teams that have quarterbacks that can move, you'll see more of it because certainly everything's on the line as you move into the tournament and playoff football.
Talk with Stephen Jones right here on 105 through the Fan. Now, you usually give us great insight not only to Cowboys things, but the NFL as well. I was kind of curious your thoughts about the team's game against the Eagles moving to Saturday, and do you think that's by any chance an indication that maybe the Cowboys will be in a Saturday slot for the wild card round as well?
That's just tough for me to project. Don't have any clue as to how that would work. Certainly, I think they probably put us in that Saturday slot knowing the game would be meaningful in terms of seedings. With some things still not locked in. That makes for good viewership, and we're comfortable with playing the game on Saturday. I've talked to Mike about it. He's ready to go. He was actually fired up that our game did get moved to Saturday. So we'll go out there and focus on the Eagles, get to work, and hopefully do what we need to do to take care of business there. But they'll be a big challenge. They're playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. So that'll be a big challenge, especially up there in Philly.
Stephen, last question. Have you ever had a New Year's resolution you stuck to for a whole year?
I don't think so. I've started off good on a bunch of them, but I don't know if I've made the whole year.
What's the one that you stuck with the longest?
It was probably a little diet I was on a couple years ago, and I'm going to try to do it again this year. I think I stuck through here.
What's the food? What's the food that crushes your diet?
It'd take a tablet full to list all the food that I love that's not good for you. Pizza to burgers and right on down the line.
Well, that's yet another reason to win the Super Bowl because then nobody cares about a diet. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, good sir. Appreciate talking with you every Monday.
Hey, great talking to you guys. Happy New Year.